Hi, so I did do another video looking at St. Patrick's Day vintage commercials. So this is the second video reacting to St. Patrick's Day parade footage, vintage footage. There are 3 videos that I found. So this first one, in the title it says WGN Channel 9 St. Patrick's Day Parade, short excerpt, and it's from 1980. So let's just get into it. Play.
Back to our St. Patrick's Day Parade, 1980 here in Chicago. We've seen go by the Emerald Isle float, the Ford Shopping Center float, the Innisfree Club marchers. I think this is the Chicago Teachers Union float going by.
Oh, it's Chicago, okay.
Salutes Eugene O'Neill. They have a picture of him on the float there, we can see. Robert M. Healy is president of Chicago's Teachers Union, Local 1, American Federation of Teachers, AFL-CIO. And this gorgeous float is a Chicago Park District float.
Oh, that is
Those
beautiful.
real flowers are gorgeous. Close encounters of the green kind. Outer
Close
Space,
encounters.
the leprechauns are landing on chair marks and burning the landscape green. That's one of the most unique floats we've had in the parade in years.
Yes, it
Gorgeous.
certainly is. Ed Kelly, always the superintendent of Park District, always sends us great floats. This is one of the most interesting set of marchers. The United States Census Bureau sponsoring 8 Chicago Bears. Superfans and kazoo band for the United States Census Bureau.
Oh my god. The kazoos.
Headed by Rocky the Chicago Bear, #1 superfan, 100 Bear fans.
This is an interesting entry. This is a half-car Cadillac Eldorado, sponsored by the Julian High School
Cadillac.
Auto Shop. It's a cut-in-half front-wheel drive automobile. The engine, transmission, and differential are located in the front wheels. It's a funny entry.
And I'd like to honor the Museum of Science and Industry to see that. This is a great group.
Oh. Is it over? Okay. That was enjoyable. So 2 things. When the kazoos were mentioned, I immediately thought of some of those YouTube covers out there of such and such played only on kazoos, and it will be like a popular song or like the theme song to a show or movie. The one that sticks out in my mind is the Avengers theme played only on kazoos. It's a funny instrument, but it's like an instrument that you don't want to be near in person because it's so obnoxiously loud. And the other thing that I noticed that she said, and you wouldn't have caught the reference if you're someone who's younger, unless you're like me and vintage stuff is your thing. When she jokingly said Close Encounters of the Green Kind. So that's a play on words. This was from 1980, and in the 70s there was a film called Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I think that's what the movie's called, and it was about aliens, I think. I haven't seen it, but I do know that the movie exists. So when she said Close Encounters of the Green Kind, I thought, okay, that would, for the year that this footage is in, that would be a funny play on words. I haven't seen Close Encounters of the Third Kind, but the reason that I know about it is if any of you out there watch 1970s television, the sitcom Welcome Back Kotter, which is from the mid to late 70s, had a episode featuring aliens, and it was about like one of the students at the school in the show claiming that he saw aliens, and that student's name is Carvelli, so the episode was called Close Encounter of the Carvelli Kind. And because there were other episode names in the show that were named after movies, I, out of curiosity, was like, this one sounds like it's named after a movie, and I was correct. So anyway, so the next video is a St. Patrick's Day parade from the 1960s. It does not give an exact year, but it does say it is an 8mm home movie clip, so it's not like the last clip where it was like filmed from a actual TV channel, which I find very interesting that this is a home movie. And this is also much shorter, it's only 35 seconds. So let's check it out. Play. First off, I like that car. Ooh, a horse! That's nice. Cheerleaders, perhaps? So it's supposed to be, St. Patrick's Day is like Irish. St. Patrick's Day is supposed to be Irish, and I would imagine most people associate kilts as being a Scottish thing. So it was interesting to see those men there in the last little clip in that video wearing kilts. So I wonder, is that like also an Irish thing? Is it like mostly Scotland, but for some Irish communities it's also the norm? Because I don't know. I'm Canadian, so let me know in the comments. This last one says vintage St. Patrick's Day parade stock footage / archive footage. And looking at the actual screen, not the title, but the screen, it says 2009. So that's not technically vintage, because 2009 was not 20 years ago yet. I did have this same thing happen in my St. Patrick's Day commercial video, where the last one was uploaded 13 years ago and looked like it was maybe from the 2000s, so already a few years old when it was uploaded. But this one, I can't make the argument that maybe it is 20 years old, because it clearly says 2009. But you know what? We're gonna react to it anyway because it's only a minute, so might as well. And 2009 was long enough ago that it still feels kind of nostalgic to look at footage of the time, so that works. Alright, let's watch. Play.
It is famous for other things, too. Smart shops and bright parades. Every 17th of March,
It looks like a church.
St. Patrick receives a rousing salute on this wide
Ooh, more horses.
St. Patrick's Day paraders always march proudly past St. Patrick's Cathedral.
Cathedral, okay.
2 blocks away is fabulous Fifth Avenue. The girls are lucky to be there the day of the parade. This is a mounted troop of New York's finest. Along Fifth Avenue and on Lower Broadway is where heroes and visiting royalty are welcomed by the admiring city. As the bands play, the high school drill team does its rhythm dance in the street.
This sounds older than 2009. So the person who was talking, his voice and the way that he was, like, doing his commentary on the parade. That did not sound like 2009. And neither did the parade style music. Although parade style music, I imagine, unlike other styles of music, has maybe remained mostly the same through the years. But, I mean, the guy wasn't talking necessarily in a transatlantic accent. It wasn't like Golden Age of Hollywood necessarily. I didn't get those vibes from his voice, but I did get the vibes of that does not sound like 2009. That sounds older. So I don't know why it said 2009. It very well could have been that someone was filming VHS footage in 2009 with a camera because they couldn't figure out how to get the footage off of a VHS and onto their computer to put on YouTube. Because I imagine there's a lot of people that have done things like that. So I'm gonna guess that that was actually not from 2009 because it just didn't seem that old, or that recent, I mean. So that was interesting. I do appreciate when the year is in the title, but when it's not in the title, it is also fun for me to speculate. So, thank you for watching this. I have an entire playlist on my channel of all my other reactions. My reactions are not confined to the handful of types of reactions that I normally do. Every once in a while I'll do something a little bit unique, like this is the first video where I've ever reacted to parade footage. But for the most part, I react to silent films, vintage cartoons, vintage stop motion animation, vintage experimental CGI, vintage colorized everyday footage, and vintage commercials as well, although I've only done holiday commercials. My St. Patrick's Day commercial reaction was uploaded the same day as this one, and I did one for Valentine's Day, and I will do one for Halloween as well, and probably one for Christmas. So check that out if you are interested, and I will see you next time.